on their agenda for a hearing for the first time on March 6th, Thursday, March 6th. I know there are other things going on that night, but board members or other members of the public who are interested may want to attend and hear what the applicant has to say. I spoke with Mr. O'Leary today. He's going to be working with the Housing Partnership. They do have some grants available to help local zoning boards evaluate affordable projects, and he will be contacting the state and looking to use their expertise as much as possible. But all abutters have been notified. But like I said, this is a fairly substantial project for North Reading, and those who are interested might like to attend the ZBA hearing on March 6th. I don't know the precise time, but I should know on Monday about when it's on the agenda. They start at 7:30. Mr. O'Leary said it would probably be later on in the evening, not 7:30 precisely. And I believe that's all for my open new business. Thank you.
I just had one item I wanted to bring up. I believe the entire board received a copy of this memo from George and Carl. And this relates to net school spending for FY02 and FY03, and I just hope this settles the matter. They, both George and Carl, worked diligently and refined the numbers. I will note that at the bottom there, that the item identified there as variance, that's the difference between the actual net school spending and the required net school spending. So there's not some kind of budget variance. It's not a budget variance or a variance in the reporting. That's again the difference between the actual net school spending and the required net school spending. The required net school spending is the figure derived by the state. So they have revised the reporting to DOE, to FY02 and FY03, and they have notified us vis-a-vis this memorandum that they're not that they cannot amend at this time FY01. So hopefully this will close out that issue. I appreciate all the work of George and Carl in correcting the discrepancy, and we now have the revised numbers so that we can go forward. And I would imagine that the two of them will be extremely diligent in their future endeavors as it relates to this particular report. And, have some questions on that. I don't have anything else under old and new business.
Could I just give Mr. Younger one more on old, please?
No, you had your turn? No.
Give me 10 seconds.
No.
Mr. Younger, on March 3rd, could we put back on...
What kind of no do you not understand?
Yeah, but I know you as king.
Oh.
Could we put back on the appointment to the Veterans Committee where we have passed the, we've had our 30-day notification?
First, I'd like to thank Mr. Sheeran for making me feel right at home. The last statement, what part of no don't you understand?
I'd just like to put that
back. Made me feel at home too, but that's different.
I'd just like to put that back on.
We already have that on the agenda.
Okay, great.
And I'll not move that off.
Yeah, that's going to simply be a matter of a minute.
Okay, Mr. Younger.
Thank
Town
you, Mr.
Administrator.
Everything will be good news this time around. First, I'd like to thank the Public Works Department, all our public safety officials, employees, and particularly town hall employees over the blizzard we had over the past week and a half, particularly that Tuesday. We had town hall open. They all made it in. The neighboring, at least one neighboring community that shut down town hall. Business was done as usual. All the employees came in, and I want to thank them very, very much. And we expect it always of our public works and public safety, and we always thank them, but the employees in here came in through the snow, got the rides in, got the shoveled out, plowed out, and they made it in. It was business as usual, winter retired, but it was business as usual. And I just want to thank them very much for coming in that day. Secondly, the board does have the building permit fee recommendations. I tend to have that on the March 3rd agenda. If anyone has any questions regarding the fees or any specific one regarding an increase, please get in touch with me before the meeting so I can discuss it with Mr. DeCola so we can have an answer for you for that evening. Also, it won't be for March 3rd, but the cemetery fees are being reviewed by the Public Works Department. See how they fall in line with a number of other communities. In fact, the communities I think are utilized regarding the liquor license fees. That's a benchmark, so they're looking at that. So basically, if you want to get in early before an increase, pre-purchase.
This is getting tough. We're going after the dead now. I mean.
No, almost.
Almost, but not yet. But as far as I recall, we don't think we've increased the fees in a while, and so we're reviewing them with the other communities. And if you remember, I think the fees do not go back into the general fund, they go into the perpetual care fund. So obviously, some care that we may be taking out of the general operational budget may be able to expend it out of the perpetual care fund.
Right, it goes in for the maintenance of that.
Right. So we'll have that obviously prior to town meeting for the board to act on. And also, one thing the board was asking about, which we're in the process of, and actually Mrs. Olson's overseeing, is the 8% credit, loss control credit program with Maya. We have all the materials from them. We are beginning our credits for it. She attended on February 13th the workshop, which helps us gain credit towards this on workers' compensation. We've received videotapes, which all boards and committees will need to watch individually or as a group, basically on how to run a meeting, issues on hiring and firing and so forth, that basically helps you in not putting yourself in a situation where you may have lawsuits against you and so forth. So members of this board will be watching, we bring the videos home with them, CPC all boards, and once that's done, we will be getting more credit for that. So our goal is to receive the full 8% credit on this for FY04. So she's doing a nice job with that, and that will be a great assistance to us for the upcoming budget. Also, which was brought up to us, and the board received a memo, I just want to update, that might be in your package, regarding the Hillview Enterprise and use of credit cards, the debit cards. As of today, we will be accepting a proposal from a bank to accept credit cards and debit cards for green fees for the upcoming golf season. I don't know if yet Mrs. Bailey has it, so it wasn't.
It's in the middle folder.
I saw it.
It's in the middle folder. In your mail tonight.
So we are right now in the process of accepting a proposal, and the credit cards, debit cards will be, knocking on wood, be utilized in the upcoming golf season, which begins in August. Here, so
How many bids were there?
we've received at least 2 right now. So looking out at the course today, I'm not very optimistic as the opening is going to be.
Might not be an early season.
No, but we are saving money. We don't have to create more water holes. We have some there. So everything else was good news, but those meeting dates will be assigned. And we'll go forward from there.
Mr. Davino.
If I may, Mr. Chair. Mr. Younger, I think it may be noteworthy to point out that there was a process in place for reconciles the monies with the tags. And I don't golf, so evidently they gave us some type of a tag, and then that was reconciled with the money that was received, and that's how they cross-checked the monies.
I mean, there's also a feeling, and we had discussions of this today, is that if you have this available, you actually may end up having more golf carts utilized, other purchases there. Because if you have $40 in cash and you're just paying greens fees and lunch, you you may not purchase otherwise. So with a credit card, debit card, you may have more on-the-spot purchases that you would normally.
And the reconciliation occurs in the treasurer's office, not